the second round of that lower or the upper bracket, and Holy Crow versus Donut is up next. Please sponsor us. Beating Method Black is going to knock them down to face Method Orange here in the lower bracket, and now the two Method teams are here to face each other in the lower bracket to see which one is going to be able to move on and which one is going to be eliminated here today. Holy Crow playing that Boomkin Warrior Restoration Druid composition to qualify themselves for this tournament, actually beating Solari Gaming's main team. And Donut, though, of course, has Jeff, Balance, Cyfoxy, and Kappa, some crazy amounts of cleave damage, and both of these teams are just kind of notorious for having such burst pressure. It's going to be an explosive matchup for sure, and I can't wait to see what ends up going down. We're going to find out here in just a hot minute, so what is going to happen between these two games as we jump into it. I love how they named themselves Holy Crow. That's awesome. I'm assuming, what was their name originally? That we had to ask them to change it because it's too long. What was it originally? Holy Crow in a hot minute. Love those guys. Damn, I'm checking Tony out. I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. Good looking dude. It's a good looking dude right there. We're going to be getting into the series here very shortly. Shout out to Supatees in chat, the one, the only. And after that, we have Jeff, Balance, Cyfoxy, and Kappa. So if you guys are interested in watching these guys play, watching them stream and whatnot, make sure to follow them on Twitter. If you follow them on Twitter, they generally tweet when they're going live, so you can catch some of their gameplay there. All these players are so very good, so make sure that you're keeping up with everything with your favorite players. Alright. I keep saying his name's Kappa, and then everyone spams Kappa, man. Alright, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I, of course, am D-Machine. You can follow me on Twitter, but I'd rather prefer you follow GCDTV on Twitter, which is at GCDTV_. If you guys don't want to type that out in the link chat to follow us, make sure to just check out that link below. Our Twitter link below. Those Twitter followers help us so much to engage more with you guys and to get your feedback on our tournaments as well as future events. So if you guys want to stay up to date with everything WoW Esports and everything GCD TV, make sure to follow us on Twitter and we'll keep you updated. That'd be super sweet. We also are going to be doing a t-shirt giveaway from Jinx later on here in the broadcast, which is going to actually occur right before the upper bracket. So these two games, Holy Crow versus Donut and Method Orange versus Method Black, after those two series we'll be giving a t-shirt from Jinx away. That t-shirt is any t-shirt of your choice from the Jinx website. If you want to know what shirts they have available to them, if you click on the box below, the Jinx box below, and the top left, you can actually browse through all the different shirts that they have available to them to see which shirt you could potentially win. It's your choice. I'm not going to tell you guys the secret question until it happens, okay? Alright. We're also going to be giving away a hoodie tomorrow from Jinx's website. They have some of the coolest Warcraft gear, and we're so happy that they're our sponsor. We wouldn't be able to do what we do here today if it wasn't for Jinx. Or Splice. Also check out Splice. They're another one of our sponsors. They keep the dream alive. They host a lot of esports. So not only do they have they call themselves the TV guide of esports. So what that means is you essentially can see all upcoming esport events right there listed in chronological order. It's really cool. If you are interested in esport events, I really recommend checking out their website using the button below, the Splice button below. But they also have a lot of articles, a lot of really interesting articles from prominent esport people throughout the community. For example, I was just reading an article from In Control the other day on their website. It was really interesting. It gets a lot of perspective on the insides of the esport industry. So if you want to learn more about that too, that's also available to you. But here we go. We're going to be jumping into game number 1 between Holy Crow and Donut. And of course, the first game of every series is the Grand Arena. Welcome everyone to the Grand Arena. Sorry about that. It's Donut versus Holy Crow, and Holy Crow actually opting to go with that turbo cleave against the Windwalker DK. I mean, I'm assuming they knew that they were probably going to be facing a Windwalker DK, or at least a DK Feral Druid composition. So I'm curious to know why they chose the turbo cleave. Maybe they feel like they can out cleave Donut. But here we go. Lossa charging in on a Jeff in balance, clashing into the double shockwave as well. It's going to be nimbled out of it, as well as that desecrated ground. And Jeff is taking so much damage from the Avatar, but on the back foot, so is Tony. Tony in a lot of trouble, forcing that shamanistic rage, and both of these teams are just kind of connecting to one another. Kappa now going across the map to try to get a full Hachi, lands it out on a Taz, but now Kappa is the one who's being swapped to in damage with Lossa's Recklessness and Avatar. Kappa Save the Light's going to proc. He's going to use those wings as well. He's getting reconnected to. He actually gets kicked on his cast by Lossa. He's in a lot of trouble. Execution sentence coming out from Kappa as well into the shockwave. It's going to force his trinket. Kappa is in trouble. Tony Jr. now pushing in, taking a lot of damage. No shamanistic rage available to him. He's lining Tony Jr. as well. Silence goes out onto Taz, and Nature Swiftness is going to be used, as well as the trinket from Taz LOL, and Tony's going to be okay, but that overextension might be costing him the game because of the cooldowns that they forced. Now a full Hodge lands out onto Taz, and Tony's still in a lot of trouble, and the paralysis from balance. He's going to get gripped back by Jeff, and Tony's in a lot of trouble. He catches the Iron Bark from Taz LOL, however, and catches a whole bunch of heals. He's going to stabilize for now, but at the same time, in the back foot, Kappa was in a lot of trouble. Getting kicked like that forced a lot of defensive cooldowns, but he's still holding on to his bubble. Tony Jr. trying to reconnect back over onto Kappa with Lossa as well, but Tony Jr. getting leg swept. He comes back into the middle of the map. Allow Taz to heal him up through this this next setup, but the full Hodge lands out onto Taz, forcing Tony Jr. Shamanistic Rage. Balance now using the Fist of Fury over on Tony, dipping him so low, but Balance has got to be careful too. Catches that execution sentence, but now they're swapping the damage over onto Jeff, forcing the AMS. The cleave from both these teams is so very real that this is Avatar coming out from Lossa. He's doing damage, but Tony's the one who's in Junior. There's the full silence out onto Tony. Rallying Cry goes out, but it doesn't matter. Down goes Tony, and game number 1 goes to Donut. Tony's on the Junior, dude. He's on the Junior. Tony Jr. confirms. Oh man, I'm sorry, man. Between Tazzlol and Tony Jr., I'm just like, yes. Let's take a quick look at that scoreboard before jumping into the second game of the series. It's Donut versus Holy Crow, and Donut actually running that Windwalker DK Holy Paladin, beating out the Turbo. I wonder if we're going to see a composition change come out from Holy Crow here in game number 2. I want to see some more Warrior Boomkin Restoration Druid. That comp's so weird. I want to see more of that. 116k Immortal Strike. Yeah, Lossa does a lot of damage. Lossa does some serious deeps, dude. Alright, we're going to be jumping into the next game here very shortly between these two teams. It is the lower bracket, everyone. Don't forget that. That means the loser of this series will be eliminated completely from the tournament. Holy Crow versus Donut. First game going to Donut, and I'm assuming that we're going to see a composition swap out from Holy Crow because it's taking so long. We're going to get a map choice from these guys and a composition change, I'm sure. Do we have a map choice? Alright, what's the map choice? The map choice is Dalaran Sewers, which kind of like benefits both of them, I'd feel. You know what I mean? But here we go. Dalaran Sewers is the next map, and I'll see you guys in a hot minute. Oh, baby, here we go. It's Holy Crow versus Donut. Holy Crow swap into the composition that they made them known, which is that Warrior Boomkin Restoration Druid. Such a weird comp, but maybe it'll be just what they need to take down Donut, which is Jeff, Balance, and Kappa. We're going to find out here very, very shortly. I don't know. I'm going to try to sit here and speculate to see who has the advantage in this matchup, and I just have no idea. Tazzlol and Supatees both can rotate through their short defensive cooldowns quite efficiently to be able to survive, but maybe those short cooldowns in themselves aren't enough to survive. Supatees the kill target for Donut right away. Balance actually leg sweeping Supa and Tazzlol. Supa getting the heck out of there, but they're swapping it over on to Taz. The silence goes out. He has that trinket. He shadow melts. He gets the prowl off. He's trying to get away with that bark skin, and that was a close call for sure. But now Donut's just swapping the pressure onto Supatees. Supatees trying to burst down Jeff. Save of the Light's going to proc onto him, and Taz getting paralysis up, so Supatees has got to be careful. But that was a lot of damage that Holy Crow was able to pump out, and they still haven't really stabilized. Look at Balance. He's at 50% health here at this point, pulling back with his team. And like the burst pressure from Holy Crow has forced Donut defensive, but there's only so often that you can pop that Incarnation Celestial Alignment to really do that. Going to be moving forward into the team. Lossa is the kill target for now, it would seem. Lots of pressure jumping in onto Kappa. It looks like he's going to pop himself out of that stun as the bash goes out onto Jeff as well. Hodge onto Tazzlol. Supatees once again the kill target is just going to pull back away with that bark skin as well. Not going to be out, not going to take free damage, not at all. Balance reconnecting over out onto Supatees. Tazzlol not in any CC just yet, but can he heal through this? Rallying cry coming out from Lossa into the Fist of Fury, and down Supatees goes. Donut taking game number 2 very convincingly. I don't know, maybe the Boomkin Restoration Druid Warrior composition wasn't what they need to beat this Windwalker DK. Now they're down 2 games in a row and potentially up for elimination. Can they make it happen? Can they take 3 games off of Donut? Maybe we're going to see another composition change from Holy Crow going into game number 3. All right, here we go, guys. We're going to be jumping into the next game here very shortly. Thank you all for tuning in to GCD Pro League tournament number 4. Of course, I am D Machine, and yeah. So far we've seen Balance, Kappa, and Jeff run that Windwalker Monk, DK, Holy Paladin. Going up against Supatees, Tazzlol, Lossa, as well as Tony. And maybe we're going to find another composition come out from Holy Crow. We're going to find out here very, very shortly to what it is that they're going to be doing. So the way that our format works is the teams actually can choose what composition they're playing after they hear what composition they're playing against, if they're the loser of the previous series, or the previous round, I should say. So at the moment here, Supatees' team, Tony Jr., Tazzlol, and Lossa are down 2-0 in this best of 5 series in the lower bracket, and only 1 loss away from being eliminated completely from the tournament. We're going to find out here what's going to happen next very, very shortly. I can't wait to see. Can you show bracket? I just tuned in. Absolutely I can. Here is the bracket so far. Let's just go over that real quick. Cloud9 faced Holy Crow, the qualification tournament team, and went 3-0 against them, but it was a hell of a bursty series. After that, we had Splice versus Donut. Splice actually taking the win 3-2. Then later on, we had Tempo Storm versus Method Orange. Tempo Storm beating Method Orange out 3-1. Method Black versus Please Sponsor Us. Please Sponsor Us taking the series 3-2 with their God comp against Method Black's Mage Boomkin Holy Paladin composition. And now we're in the lower bracket. We're seeing Holy Crow versus Donut right here, right now. Holy Crow actually 1 series away from being eliminated against Donut. Method Orange versus Method Black is up next after this, guys. So make sure to tune in for that. And then after that, we're going to go into that upper second round bracket. And but before we jump right into those games, we will be doing a Jinx t-shirt giveaway, courtesy of Jinx. Check them out. I'm just gonna read out loud what Clutter said in party chat. Miss Clutter says, Tolvaron Arena is the map choice. Holy Crow though needs a hot minute. For real, man. There's like 3 memes in that sentence alone. I laughed and I'm not gonna read the rest of that. All right. We're going to be jumping into the games here very shortly until these teams get themselves ready. Make sure you guys are following your favorite teams on Twitter of the GCD Pro League. And you are following GCD TV on Twitter too, so you are updated with all our new awesome events that are coming soon. So I announced it earlier on today, but if you just tuned in now, we are actually going to be hosting a Wargame Wednesday event every Wednesday. This Wargame Wednesday event will be a show match where teams can actually challenge one another to a war game. A war game can consist of a 1v1, a 2v2, a 3v3, a 5v5, or even a 6v6 battleground war game. So that's going to be all coming up every Wednesday. I'm not sure exactly who's going to be challenging who this upcoming Wednesday. I'm going to give the players of the Pro League the option to do such a thing, and we're going to see what happens. Maybe it could turn out to be something really cool. It's just something new that we're trying. We're going to try to get you more content more often here at GCD TV instead of a bi-weekly tournament. But that being said, we also just started a talk show called Queue Up. That talk show happens every other Saturday between the tournament. Right here at GCD TV, so make sure to hit that follow button at GCD TV so you're notified when we go live, and you can check that out as well. Oh yeah, we do have a bunch of people supporting us on our Patreon, so every week we get a lot of people consistently donating money for our upcoming prize pools, and the support is really why we're here today. That support, though, we felt like we wanted to kind of reward those people who consistently support us over and over and over again through Patreon. So Patreon is actually a website where you can go and you can subscribe a certain amount of money. You can choose how much money you want to subscribe to. It can be $1, it can be whatever the heck you want to subscribe to, but you actually get rewarded for that on Patreon with rewards like being able to be a member in on our Discord chat and stuff like that, and being able to get involved with the conversations that we have to make GCD TV what it is. So you can kind of change the future of WoW esports with those chats. So that's our Patreon page if you wanted to check that out. But here we go. It is Tolvaron Arena. Welcome everybody to Tolvaron Arena. It's Holy Crow versus Donut. Holy Crow actually opting to go with the Turbo Cleave instead of the Boomkin Mage Holy Paladin. Oh, but Supatees is actually the Restoration Druid now. Supatees forcing Taz on the bench. He says, no, I heal through Donut. Not you, me. And he's running with that Turbo Cleave once again. Lossa, Tony Jr., and Supatees facing Donut's Windwalker DK Holy Paladin composition here in game number 3. Potentially match point for Holy Crow, and the gates have opened. Jeff opting not to mount up, just running right at them. And here we go. They get Tony Jr. looking to get. Actually, is Tony? No, he's enhancement. I thought he might have been elemental there for a second. Jeff actually being the kill target for Holy Crow, dipping down to 50% health here right away. Kappa, though, not in any CC, should be able to heal through this. A-okay. Recklessness coming out from Lossa now, trying to get some work done, but it's going to get Fist of Fury on, forcing the Ironbark and the Shamanistic Rage overlap from Holy Crow. That might be a big deal moving forward into the game. Now Jeff still the kill target. They're swapping that damage over on to Kipo with that full stun. He's actually going to get bopped up on that. If that get purged by Tony Jr., this could be the end of Kappa. And look at Tony Jr. He's just literally spamming purge to get that thing off. And finally it leaves, but Kappa was able to stabilize quite a bit with that bop. It stayed for so very long, but now they're swapping the damage over onto Jeff. He's going to go ahead and use that AMS right away. Supatees getting silenced up now, but it looks like Holy Crow is able to stabilize quite a bit. But at the same time, at what cost? Supatees is trying to go through his mana pool quite consistently. There's the grip leg sweep coming out, forcing Supa to trinket and displace away. Tony Jr. still taking a bunch of damage. No Shamanistic Rage for 10 more seconds. Fist of Fury coming out from Tony Jr., but it's going to get shock from balance onto Tony Jr. It's going to get shockwave by Lossa. Jeff still the kill target, taking a bunch of damage. The Sablite's going to proc, as well as the AMS is going to be used out onto Jeff as well, but it looks like he's going to stabilize once again for now. Kappa now getting swapped to by Lossa. Charge stun comes out. He's not on forbearance. He has that bubble available to him, but he's not going to use it just yet. Heroic leap from Lossa. Save by the Light's going to proc Aura Mastery now out from Kappa. He's trying to hold on to his bubble the best he can, and it looks like he's doing just that. Kappa has that Hodge available to him to go onto Supatees. He's using those denounces to make it hard for Supatees to crit and to fall behind against this crazy damage that is Jeff and Balance. Tony Jr. uses that Shamanistic Rage there, but actually Jeff and Balance both getting peeled pretty consistently by that Cap Totem and the Cyclone from Supati's. So I don't know if that Shamanistic Rage was warranted, but he did not know that CC was coming. Jeff taking a bunch of pressure. Once again, Kappa forced to use his wings. He's trying to get the cast off, trying to juke Tony Shear. Tony now getting fully leg sweep. Supati's also using the Bark Skin as well. Into the Fist of Fury out on the Tony Jr. Is this the end of him? Rallying Cry coming out from Lossa to keep Tony Jr. alive for now. Paralysis now over onto Supati's. Tony Jr. still in a little bit of trouble. That Rallying Cry is going to fade. It fades, dipping down to 30% health here at this point. Is this going to be the end of Tony Jr. or is this going to be the end of Lossa? Lossa at 45% here. Health pushing in out on a Kappa. He knows he's got to pull back. He knows he can't be in that position. The double charge then goes out on both the DPS of Donut, and Jeff still once again the kill target for Holy Crow. Holy Crow seems like they need to bring the game to late game, but Supati's getting gripped, hodged in. They're swapping the damage over on him, doing so much damage. No Bark Skin available to him. Denounce is coming in, Fist of Fury, and down goes Supati's. Donut taking the series 3-0.